Why installing Linux might be easier than Windows 11 in 2026. Hey everyone, welcome back to 9 to 5 Linux, where we break down the latest in tech to help you make smarter choices. Today, we're diving into a hot topic that's been buzzing online. Is installing Linux really easier than setting up Windows 11 these days? Spoiler alert, for many users, the answer is yes. We will explore what's changed, why Windows has become such a hassle, and how Linux has stepped up its game. If you're tired of bloated installs and endless prompts, stick around. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about Windows 11. Back in the days of Windows 11 or Windows 8, installations were straightforward. Pop in the disk or USB, follow a few steps, and you are on the desktop in under 10 minutes. But fast forward to 2026, and things have gotten complicated. Microsoft has layered on more features, security checks, and integrations. This sounds great on paper, but turn the setup into a slog. For starters, the Windows 11 installer is notoriously slow. Users report it takes 30 minutes or more just to copy file, plus another 20 to 30 minutes for the onboarding process. You ask why? It's downloading gigabytes of updates and extras during setup. Even if you start with a fresh 7 GB ISO, it might pull down almost as much again. And about the reboots, expect multiple ones, sometimes up to 5 or 6 times, as the system configures everything. That's not just annoying, it interrupts your flow and can lead to errors, like the infamous installation failed messages that plagued updates in 2025. Then there is the onboarding nightmare. Windows 11 pushes hard for a Microsoft account. You can't skip it easily without tricks like disconnecting your internet, and even those are getting patched out. Once you are in, you are hit with the captcha challenges to verify you are a human. Sometimes multiple rounds if you mess up. And after that, you toggle off a bunch of privacy settings to limit data collection. And bam, more reboots. Oh, and the ads. Right in the setup, promotions for Microsoft 365, OneDrive, or Game Pass. You have to click skip on each one. It's like the installer is more interested in selling you stuff than getting you up and running. In 2025, things got worse with buggy updates. Reports from sites highlight a meltdown year, memory leaks, failed hot patches, and even issues breaking recovery environments. And if your hardware isn't perfectly compatible, like older CPUs without TPM 2.0, you're out of luck or jumping through hops. All this can stretch a fresh install to an hour or more, leaving you frustrated before you even hit the desktop. Now, contrast that with modern Linux distributions. Linux used to have a rip for being tricky, command line tinkering, driver hunts, and cryptic errors. But in 2026, that's ancient history. Distros like Zorin OS, Ubuntu, or Linux Mint have polished installers that make the process feel effortless. Now, take time, for example, a typical Linux install clocks in at like 5 to 15 minutes. You boot from a USB, select your language, time zone, and a username or password. That's basically it. The installer handles the rest, including partitioning your drive automatically if you want. No endless downloads mid process. Most ISOs are lighter, around like 2 to 4 GB, and everything's bundled in. About the reboots, just one at the end, straight to your new desktop. That's it. One of the Linux killer features is the live environment. Before committing, you can boot the operating system right from the USB and test drive it. Play around with the apps, check if your hardware works, Wi Fi, graphics, and everything. If something's off, just reboot back to your old system. No changes made. Now, about the Windows, you only see the full operating system after the install. So, post setup surprises mean starting over. And speaking of the hardware, Linux has come a long way. Modern distros auto detect and install drivers for most devices. If something's missing, tools like Ubuntu's additional drivers let you pick and install with one click. No scoring websites. Partitioning is user-friendly too. Installers spot existing Windows setups and offers to dual boot with a single option. No ads, no forced online accounts. Local logins are the default, and privacy is baked in without toggles. Gaming's another win. Thanks to Proton and Steam's integration, thousands of Windows games run flawlessly on Linux now. Users on platforms like X, which is formerly Twitter, and Reddit are sharing stories of seamless switches, with setups taking half the time of Windows. So, what's changed? For Windows, it's Microsoft push for more data and services, telemetry, cloud ties, and ads to boost revenue. That bloat slows everything down. Now, Linux, meanwhile, has focused on user friendliness. Community driven distros prioritize speed and simplicity, with graphical tools replacing old command line hassles. In 2025 and 2026, as Windows 10 support ends, millions are eyeing Linux to avoid forced updates and e-waste. Of course, Linux isn't perfect for everyone. If you rely on specific Windows only software, like certain Adobe apps, you might need workarounds. But for everyday use, like browsing, office work, gaming, it's a breeze. So, if you're fed up with Windows 11 frustrations, give Linux a shot. Start with something beginner friendly like Linux Mint or Zorin OS. Download the ISO, make a bootable USB with Rufus or WinToy. And also try the live mode. It's free, reversible, and might just save you hours of headaches. So, what do you think? Have you switched to Linux or are you sticking with the Windows? Drop your experiences in the comments below. If this video helped, hit that like button, subscribe for more tech tips, and ring the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.